Are you free? Do you enjoy your freedom? Do you cherish your freedom? Are you grateful for all your freedoms? What if I was to tell you that freedom's not always free? See, this is the American flag. It's a symbol of freedom. It's also known as the Stars and Stripes. It's also known as Old Glory. And according to PBS.org, there are 13 stripes on this American flag. Those 13 stripes, 7 red, 6 white, they represent the original 13 colonies. There's 50 stars on this American flag on a sea of blue. Those 50 stars represent the 50 states of the United States of America. The colors also have a significance. The red, hardiness and valor. The white, purity and innocence. And the blue, vigilance, perseverance, and justice. I'm a proud American. I'm not afraid to admit it. But why am I a proud American? Well, my niece is a United States Marine. I'm also the father to a stepson who has already sworn in, and in 8 months will be enlisting himself in the United States Marine Corps. I know what it's like to be a proud American because of family that are willing to put their lives on the line. So if we're free, why is it okay to kneel during the national anthem and for the symbol that is freedom, the American flag? Well, today we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the pros, the cons of it, and I'm going to try to make a suggestion on different ways to bring awareness. So we're going to go ahead and start and look at the pros, and here's how it really all started with the whole kneeling phase. This gentleman right here, his name is Colin Kaepernick. He played for the San Francisco 49ers, and on August 26, 2016, he first took a knee. Why did he take a knee? He didn't want to stand up and show pride in a flag that for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. This is what he said. This is his statement. This is how it all started. So according to procon.org, they list some pros, people that actually support the cause for kneeling. They look at the cons for it, people that are opposed to kneeling. And we're going to start with looking at the pros. When one believes that the United States is not living up to the ideals of freedom, liberty, and justice for all, and they have a right to refuse to stand for the national anthem, they justify it that way. How does it get justified? How can you justify it? When a national figure such as an NFL player refuses to stand for the national anthem, it brings up conversation. Conversation, yes, negative conversation. It brings a lot of anger. That's why the last one here is not standing for the national anthem is a legal form of peaceful protest, which is a First Amendment right. Yes, it is a right, but it brings up anger. It divides America, especially when the average NFL player makes $1.9 million, and that's according to NFL.com. $1.9 million. These are people that are making multi-million dollars playing a game, an NFL, a football game, and they're talking about oppression. People don't buy it when multimillionaires are talking about oppression. They don't feel like they have lived through it. Now, they may have grown up in oppression, but they're making multi-million dollars now, like Colin Kaepernick in his almost $3 million home. This is why it brings anger to Americans. People that have to spend $100 to go watch a football game, only to watch their favorite players kneel during the national anthem. Hard-earned money. I know $100 for a ticket for me is pretty hard to come by. And when I see a multi-millionaire not showing pride for my American flag, it does bring a little bit of an anger to me. So now that we talked about people that support it, what about the people that don't support it? Refusing to stand for the national anthem shows disrespect for the flag and the members of the armed forces. That's what I truly believe. It disrespects every American that ever died fighting for it. Not standing for the national anthem, it's ineffective, it's counterproductive. Yeah, because when you kneel, you're bringing, like I stated before, people talk about it, but not in a positive light. It brings anger. Like the last one says, it brings angers to many and it divides the country, and that's exactly what it's doing. People are upset that people are kneeling. You know, as I stated previously, the American flag, it's a symbol of freedom. You know, when Americans look at it, they think about the Americans that have died fighting for that flag. And a perfect example is Iwo Jima. Now, this is according to the United States Department of Veteran Affairs. 6,821 Americans died fighting for an island in the Pacific. Why were they fighting for it? It was 700 miles from Japan. And when we took the island and raised the flag, and this photo is from February 23rd, 1945, in a 5-week battle for this island. Many believe this was a turning point in the war, because now we were close enough, because now we had an island that we could launch our airplanes from and attack Japan if needed. But over 6,000, almost 7,000 Americans died just in this battle. That was just one battle, one war, World War II. You look at the history. Now, this only goes up to 1991. Now, this is, of course, once again to the stats from the United States Department of Veteran Affairs. 651,031 died in American wars. That was just in battles themselves. 1.4 million wounded in battles. So while athletes are kneeling, other people still respect the flag. And some have to pay a price for their respect for the flag. Take Zachary Stinson. He's a United States Marine. Lost his legs in battle. Yet when the national anthem plays, he's in a wheelchair. He's standing at attention. Now, just because Colin Kaepernick's in the NFL, he's only one NFL player. Here's an example of someone who has pride for the flag. Alejandro Villanueva. He was an Army veteran who now plays in the NFL. And on this particular day, the Pittsburgh Steelers decided to stay in the locker room during the playing of the national anthem as a team to show unity. But one man, an Army veteran, stood in the tunnel and couldn't stay in the locker room with his teammates. He stood in the tunnel. He watched the playing of the national anthem with his hand over his heart. But it's not just Americans. Other nationalities also respect our flag. Take, for example, Usain Bolt, a Jamaican sprinter during the 2016 Olympics. Right after he won a race, he was giving an interview. But the playing of the national anthem in the background, because another American won a different race and was on the podium getting his gold medal, was playing. He stopped the interview, said that he won't do it. He stood at attention until the national anthem was finished playing. Once it was done, he went back to the interview and he explained why he did that. Because he has pride for and respect for our flag. So, if other countries can respect it, and there are Americans that respect it, and of course our military respects it, what are some different ways that you can bring awareness to oppression in America? Well, let's go ahead and give you an example. And this is a great example. This gentleman right here, his name is Chris Long. He plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what he's doing? 2017, every paycheck that he's getting, he's donating. He's donating it to educational programs. Now, his first 6 paychecks through the 2017 season have gone to his hometown of Charlottesville, Virginia, for scholarship programs for a private school there. But his last 10 are being divided between Boston, St. Louis, and Philadelphia. These are the 3 cities that he has played in the NFL. And he's donating each paycheck to one of those cities' educational programs to bring awareness to oppression. The best way to fight oppression is through education, and that's what he believes. Equity in education can help affect changes that we all want to see, is what he says. So today we talked about the pros, we talked about the cons, and we talked about a gentleman that is trying to bring awareness to oppression, but doing it in a peaceful way, one that does not upset Americans. He's putting his money where his mouth is. He's not kneeling. He still stands, he sees the flag, he has pride, puts his hand over his heart, but he's putting his money where his mouth is, and he's trying to fight oppression that way. So today I just wanted to leave you with a quote from Martin Dempsey. He's a retired Army general. What's wrong about America can't be fixed unless we acknowledge, protect, and yes, honor what is right about America. For those who don't like standing because they disagree with what America has done, stand and pay it forward for what you think America should do. Then, as the last echoes of the anthem fade away, go back to arguing for change from that foundation of promise that is the national anthem. Thank you, and God bless America.